Alright, so with the EZA for STR Super BUU and Physical Super Vegito out on Global Dokkan, figured it was time we did a showcase on STR Super BUU because of course we already looked at the Super Vegito. And between the two of them, I would say Super BUU is definitely better if you're not including, links and categories and all that. Because Super BUU has a very good design. When you transform with him, he becomes just insane, right? Buuhan gets some crazy levels of defense. He's raising defense for multiple turns as well. I think he has guard as well, so he's really crazy. There's Buu Piccolo, who's even crazier. He gets like 50% damage reduction, and he's supporting, and he gets like 100% defense on Super. And then there's Buu Tanks, but we don't really talk about Buu Tanks. And even when Super BUU's not transformed, just in his base state, he's still pretty impressive. I think he's in the range where he's going to be surviving normal attacks from some of these difficult events. So overall, a very good EZA, but there's a couple issues I have with him, primarily Buu Tanks, but we'll talk about that later in the video. So without further ado, we can just go ahead and hop right into it. On this opening rotation, actually we're going to be looking really good. We're going to have 6 out of 7 links, and we also have 50% support from the cooler in slot 1. So again, very good opening rotation right here. We're at 268k defense. Not necessarily the best start of turn defensive stat, but there is a lot you have to consider. So he does get 60% attack and defense when attacking. So obviously after we attack, we're going to be, I think a little over 500k defense, or around 500k defense, which without guard, damage reduction, dodge, or anything like that, isn't necessarily the best. But we do also get 60% defense after we receive an attack. So I guess we should probably throw him in slot 1 right here. We'll keep him linked up next to Buuhan, or Buu Tanks, because they just link better. So still 268k defense. We are going to get the 60% defense after we receive an attack. And then we're going to get a 60% attack and defense buff when we attack. So a lot of attack and defense going on right here. It's not just his base stats. So as you can see right here, we got the extra defense from that. We're doing an 8 million attack stat as well. Not really the worst. Actually, that's pretty solid. I mean, because there's no crits or additionals built in, it's not amazing. But, if you got a couple dupes in this guy, which I'm sure a lot of you do, he's a very old unit, then of course you can give him some additionals, crits. I probably suggest you go additionals, or primarily additionals, because in every transformation, additionals does kind of benefit him the most. But at the end of the day, I guess it really doesn't matter. I mean, additionals, crits, dodge, all of them will definitely help this guy out a lot. And he does have built-in additionals and all that in, I think, Buuhan. When you transform into Buuhan, he has built-in additionals, but outside of that, I don't think he has additionals built into his kit. So maybe giving him a little bit of everything would probably be smart. If you want to give him, some dodge, some additionals, some crits, be pretty smart. But I don't necessarily suggest completely throwing all your eggs in one basket and just going like, full crits or full additionals. If you want to argue full dodge, I can't really say you're wrong. But honestly, that's like that with every unit. Like, yeah, going full dodge, I guess, would be smart, because then if you dodge a lot, I mean, on any unit, of course that's useful because they don't take that much damage. But I don't really suggest going full dodge with him. I would say just give him a little bit of everything. He's already STR as well, so he's got the base 5 crit. So maybe you don't have to give him that much crit because he's already got, obviously, the base 5. But I think everything will help him out a lot. Additionals will help him out because in Buuhan and then on Buu Piccolo, he gets a lot of defense on Super. So additionals for that, obviously very good. But then he's also doing some pretty solid damage. So then crits would help him out a lot as well. But then if you're on Buu Tanks, or if you're on this guy and you're in a really difficult event, then maybe dodge will be useful because you can avoid taking some serious damage, right? But anyway, we're sitting here at 233k defense. We did lose a lot of support, so of course our defensive stat did drop just a bit. Now, just to briefly go over everything this guy does in his just normal Super BUU state. He gets 1 key start of turn and then 120% attack and defense. I guess the 1 key is good. I mean, extra key for a TUR is very useful. Makes it to where it's extremely easy to get a super with him. But only 1 key isn't really that crazy. But anyway, still good he has that, right? He has 120% attack and defense start of turn. He gets an additional defense up to 120%. The more HP remaining, the greater the defensive boost. He gets an additional 60% attack and defense when attacking. He gets a 60% defense after receiving an attack. And then he transforms into specific form when conditions are met. So that's the thing about this guy. He's got 3 transformations, as we've kind of talked about already. So he absorbs Ultimate Gohan when HP is between 80% and 100%, starting from the 5th turn from start of battle. If you get that, you're great. He absorbs Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks when HP is 50% and 79%, starting from the 5th turn from start of battle. If you get that, you're not great. And then he absorbs Piccolo when HP is 49% or below, starting from the 5th turn from start of battle. If you get that, you're great, I guess, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. Buuhan and then Buu Piccolo, very good. Very, just powerful. Defensively, they're going to be amazing. Even offensively, I know Buhan's going to be crazy offensively, but I'm pretty sure BUU Piccolo is going to be very good offensively as well. But then Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, or BUU when he absorbs Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he can do some damage, which sure is good, right? But his defense is just nothing compared to the other ones. He doesn't have any guard, obviously not good. No damage reduction, dodge, anything like that. I mean, it doesn't matter that he doesn't have guard. It's just, as long as he has one of those things to at least make him very capable defensively in a lot of these difficult events, that'd be very good. But unfortunately, he just has a lot of stat debuffs on the enemy, which isn't really useful because most events cancel that anyway. But okay, we are getting the transformation into Buhan, I think. So that's definitely very good. And you know what I love about this? It's still just a black screen in the background. Like, they can't add a sky or anything, even with his EZA. I don't know. I'm just nitpicking, but I don't know. I think it's funny they did that. So we're here at 168k defense. Not good. That obviously kind of sucks, right? But there's a lot to consider. So first off, we get 50% attack and defense for 3 turns. So obviously we're carrying over 50% attack and defense into the next turn, which we do also have built-in additionals, so that's very good. And then he recovers 12% HP. Not the craziest, but HP recovery is still very good. He gets 2 ki, so that's pretty good. 2 ki for TUR. He gets 180% attack and defense, and then he raises defense up to 120%. The more HP remaining, the greater the defensive boost. And then he gets an additional 80% attack when attacking. And then he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super. And then he has a great chance to guard all attacks for 6 turns from start of turn. And then it drops to a high chance starting from the 7th turn. So, alright, a 70% chance to guard. Good, because it's pretty reliable, but if you don't get it, in difficult events, you're going to take a lot of damage, because take a turn like this, for instance, right? We've got, not even 200k defense, and we didn't super attack yet. So the super we just took right there, if this was Red Zone Broly, we would have taken a lot of damage right there if we didn't get the guard. Even with the guard, I don't know, 200k defense with guard isn't that crazy. But once you start doing supers off with this guy, as we mentioned, he does have built-in additionals. Then, of course, you're carrying over defense into the next turn, and then you're starting off at, 500k defense with guard, and you're still getting the 50% defense on super with the additionals you have built in. So you can approach 1,000,000 defense with guard, and of course that's really crazy, especially considering this guy's doing 10 million damage on his attack stats, and he has built-in additionals, so you're doing a lot of them. So very good overall. I think Buhan is probably the best out of the 3. I would say overall with his damage, defense, he is probably the best out of the 3, but BUU Piccolo is very good as well, because he's a support and he has damage reduction, so there's no chance of guard or chance of damage reduction. It's just flat out, as the first or second attacker, you get the 50% damage reduction, which, of course, very good, right? I think most of the time you're running him, this unit, you're going to have him in slot 1 or 2, so very good that the condition for the damage reduction is slot 1 or 2. But again, Buhan, very useful. The HP regeneration, all the attack and defense on super for multiple turns, and then the great chance to guard, which, I mean, it's a great chance to guard, so most of the time you're going to have it active, but still, there's always that chance, right? Which, one thing I really don't like about Dokkan right now, I don't know why, it annoys me. I can't see when I have guard activated. On these units that have a high chance to guard, which there's a lot of them now, because Dokkan is very wary with how they, just give out guard. They don't really just give it out for free anymore. So there's a lot of units with a medium chance, high chance, great chance to guard, but we don't know when they have the guard. I mean, if I knew start of turn who had guard on my rotation activated, right now, then of course that would make them a lot more useful, because if you have the guard, then, you could throw him in slot 1 to take all the attacks, or if you don't have the guard, you could just try and baby him and not take a lot of attacks with him. So, okay, we're getting supered, we're gonna die. I mean, yeah, I guess we just kind of got caught. We'll hop back in, but I mean, dude, this guy's teams are not really that good. That's a whole nother can of worms we got to talk about. There's a lot to discuss with this guy, so let's just cut back when we're in the Legendary Vegeta event. Alright, so we did get the transformation into Piccolo, or I guess where we absorb Piccolo. So throughout the video, I'm not going to really be targeting getting BUU tanks, getting BUU Piccolo, and then Buhan. If we get them, we get them, and if we don't get them, we'll just talk about them at the end of the video in the unit breakdown. So yeah, we got BUU Piccolo right here. We're at 226k defense. Alright, so not really good. Start of turn, this guy just in general isn't really looking that good in whatever transformation, unless you're in Buhan and you get a bunch of supers, and then obviously you carry over defense into the next turn. But with this guy right here, 226k defense is still good. because as I mentioned earlier, we do get 50% damage reduction as the first or second attacker in a turn. And then also we get 100% defense on super. So after we super, we're going to be, what, 450k defense, and we have 50% damage reduction, and we're still recovering HP. So he recovers 10% HP at the end of a turn, and then he was recovering 20% HP at the start of this turn, and he's supporting all allies for 3 key and 40% defense. So, you know, a lot of stuff going on right here. He's got crit chance as well if you throw him in slot 3, but it's only 8%, not really that high. So a lot with this guy. That's why I think personally BUU Piccolo is probably the best, but I'm not really too sure on that. So we do have a lot of support. We've got most of our links active. Very good turn for him right here. So again, after we super, we're going to be basically 500k defense with 50% damage reduction, and we're also supporting, and we're healing a lot. So I would say overall he's looking really good right here. He doesn't have that much in his kit really to gear towards his damage, so I was talking about that earlier. I do think Buhan is still the best all around between, you know, his damage and his defense, but in terms of just defense, this guy is very, very good, right? And also the support is incredibly useful. So I guess we can just nuke on the next turn. I mean, it's going to be a little weird because this guy I just said wasn't that damaging, but even if we get Buhan, I don't think it's going to be that crazy because, you know, we're going to have to get multiple supers, and when we take him in the red zone test, it might just not work out. So we're just going to nuke with him here, see how much damage he does, and then for the red zone test, we'll probably just bring him versus Metal Cooler Core. I feel like that makes the most sense because, of course, we have type advantage during the final phase, and then for the first couple turns and for the first phase, of course, we have time to build up with our team. We can try and take the right amount of HP to get either BUU Piccolo or Buhan because, again, I don't know. I mean, BUU tanks, even type advantage, I don't really know how good he's going to look, right? Because, again, he doesn't have any guard, damage reduction, dodge, blah, 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 anything like that. He's mainly just lowering the enemy's attack and defense, and he doesn't get defense on super, by the way. So there's a lot of things with him to where you don't really want to target getting him. You kind of want to get BUU Piccolo or Buhan. But if you get him, you might be able to make it work. I mean, we'll see. I guess maybe we can get him in the red zone test and see how much damage he's taken, but I don't know. It's a little tricky with him, right? So look at that. We recovered a lot of HP, mainly thanks to, obviously, BUU Piccolo. But we're here at 192k defense. Okay, so not even 200k defense. I mean, yeah, I guess we did lose a lot of support, so, you know, that'll do it. But still, I don't know. He's looking all right because, of course, you know, we've got the 50% damage reduction. We get 100% defense on super. So basically 400k defense with 50% damage reduction, and we're supporting. That's not necessarily amazing for slot 1, but if you want to throw him in slot 2, you definitely could make that work. Okay, yeah, 7.5, right? So really not that crazy. I mean, you know, he's not a damaging unit, right? I mean, we got the crit right there for 5 million. Pretty all right, but considering we got 17 key spheres, or 16, really not that blown away. But I guess with all that shown, we can go and cut to the red zone test. Because, I mean, we've already shown really all we can here with BUU Piccolo. I would assume either BUU we get, whether it's Buhan, BUU Piccolo, or BUU Tanks, is going to perform somewhat decent in the Metal Cooler Core red zone test, because of course they all have type advantage, but I don't know. I guess let's find out. Alright, so we're here fighting Metal Cooler Core, and looks like we did get Buhan, which is probably for the best, because like we kind of mentioned, he's probably the best transformation. But right here we're looking pretty good. We do have 50% support from the Cooler. For 185k defense. We literally just transformed, so we didn't have any time to carry over defense from the previous turn. But I think we're still good right here. Alright, so, okay. It's a little bit of damage, right? But look, an 11 million attack stat, pretty damn crazy, because we have additionals incoming right here. And, of course, the additionals are going to give us even more defense. Look at 8.5 million damage, definitely very good. And then we are down to very close to double digits. So on the next turn, we're definitely going to take double digits because, you know, of course, the defense does carry over into the next turn. But then after we super from that, then definitely 100% double digits. And then also, I think a super, we might be able to survive. I don't know. I probably should have brought a scouter on the team just because why not? But I guess it is what it is. We didn't even get super that turn. Okay, so I think I'm going to pop a Ghost Usher here just because I want to play it safe. I don't want to die, and I want to see the Buhan's like defense. After he's stacked up a bit from the previous turn. So, yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and pop that. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, just do this as a rotation. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're probably not going to get really that far in this event. But, I don't know. I guess we could show off this Gogeta a little. He is about an EZA on Global. Of course, 5th year anniversary LRs. Dude, they're just so insane. They got to be some of the funnest units in the game after their EZA. I would say, like, if I'm really trying to have fun in Dokkan, usually I just run the Gamma's team, because the Gammas, I don't know why, I just love their design. Gamma 1 and 2 work so well together. They got some really good categories under their leader skill as well. You know, movie heroes, obviously insane. But 5th year anniversary LRs, dude, they're so fun as well. Like, they gotta be one of my favorite units in this game, right? I'm sure a lot of you agree, right? I'm not special by saying that. I know everybody loves 5th year anniversary LRs, but dude, global, we about to have a lot of fun once we get them. So, okay, we're doing a lot of damage here. Alright, that's not good. Yeah, we crit right there as well. Dude, come on. Why are you getting an additional super? Come on now. Alright, this has a 50% chance to not crit. So can we not get that off? Okay, of course we got it off. And we got the additional normal just to, you know, just to add a little bit more to it. So, okay, we're taking a couple of attacks before we super, so we can show that this is at least easy double digits. We're here at 360k defense. Keep in mind, we also lost 50% support. So the defense we carried over into this turn was a lot, right? Now, we did get sealed, but not really an issue. We got a Sensu Bean. So after we super, let's just say worst case scenario, we only get one super, right? Defensively, we're going to be, what, approaching 600k? Not 600k, we're going to be realistically around 500k, but then we could get the additional as well, which we do have built in, right? And then we could be like, you know, 600, 700, 800k, and then we could get the Hidden Potential System additional, and then of course, you know, even more. But, you know, keep in mind, all the supers we're doing are carrying over into the next turn, so it just works out very well. Unfortunately, we are going to kill because the amount of damage this guy's doing is very good, right? His defense, looking good, mainly for slot 2, but you might be able to work out running him in slot 1, right? And his damage is looking great as well. Look at that, 10 million, 7.6 million crit, and we potentially had 2 more supers incoming. So overall, very good. I think this BUU is a very good EZA, but it's a little tricky, right? Because then if you don't get Buuhan or Buu Piccolo, you're not really going to be looking that crazy. So I don't really think he's outright bad in BUU tanks, but he definitely isn't as impressive. So you are going to want to make sure you target getting Buuhan or Buu Piccolo again. But I said that a lot throughout the video. I'm kind of just repeating myself, so whatever. Let's just go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. Alright, so here we have Shocking Absorption ability, Majin Buu Evil. Alright, this is about to be a long unit breakdown, but let's go ahead and get started. So his leader skill is Transformation Boost category Ki +3, and HP and attack and defense plus 170%, or Extreme STR type Ki +3, HP and attack and defense plus 120%. His super attack effect is that he greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and then greatly lowers attack and defense. Didn't mention this in the video, but this is really good. Of course, makes it to where, you know, in Super Battle Road, he'll be very useful with that. And then his passive is that he gets 1 ki, he gets attack and defense plus 120%, and then raises defense by an additional 120%, the more HP remaining, the greater the defensive boost. He gets 60% attack and defense when attacking, 60% defense after he receives an attack. And then all the conditions, I guess we can just go over them now because they're all right here. To go into Gohan, you need to be between 80% and 100% HP, and all of these are starting from the 5th turn. For Super Saiyan 3 Go tanks, 50% and 79%. For Piccolo, just below 49%. So most of the time, you're probably going to get Buuhan, which is good, because I would say overall he is the best. But there's a good amount of times you're going to be getting this as well. I would say the most common ones are Buuhan and then BUU tanks. But again, you should be targeting these two, because of course, this one and then this one are the best. So his links are Majin, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regeneration, Fear and Faith, The Wall Standing Tall, and Fierce Battle. And then his categories are Transformation Boost, Majin Buu Saga, Artificial Life Forms, Kamehameha, Final Trump Card, Majin Power, Power Absorption, Heavenly Events, Time Limit, Sworn Enemies, and then Global Chaos. And then when you do transform into Buuhan, the super attack effect does change. You now greatly raise attack and defense for 3 turns, immense damage. His passive is that he recovers 12% HP, he gets 2 ki and 180% attack and defense. He raises defense up to 120%, the more HP remaining, the greater the defensive boost. He gets an additional 80% attack when attacking, and then he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super. And then he has a great chance to guard all attacks for 6 turns from start of turn, and then it becomes a high chance after the 7th turn. His link set is the exact same, except he now has Big Bad Bosses. Obviously very good. I would say this is another reason why Buuhan is the best, because I'm pretty sure he's the only one that has Big Bad Bosses. Yeah, he is. Okay, so yeah, another reason why I think he's the best. But all right, moving on to BUU tanks. His super attack effect is that he causes immense damage to enemy, lowers attack and defense, and seals. So I guess this is good, right? Super Battle Road, but by the time you get this guy, you know, the Super Battle Road stage will already have been done. His passive is that he recovers 10% HP, he gets 1 ki, attack plus 180%, and then defense plus 140%. I mean, yeah, dude, come on. why is this 140%? You should have just made it 180% to both stats. I feel like that would have made more sense, but, you know, I guess. And then he gets an additional 80% attack and defense when attacking. I mean, I'll give him credit. This is pretty good. 80% is a pretty significant number as well. So, I mean, yeah, that's good. And then he gets another 80% attack and defense when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down status. And then he gets 1 key and 80% defense and a great chance to launch an additional super for 6 turns from start of turn. So, I mean, in this guy's ideal situation, you know, you have this up, you've got this after you super, and you've got this up. I mean, you know, I guess he's all right because he could do 3 supers as well, but I don't know. Overall, I feel like this guy isn't going to be that great. And the conditions to get some of these things, like this, you know, the enemy has to be in attack down or defense down status. Most events cancel that, as we said, so not really that insane. His link set is the same, except he has over and a flash, so, you know, I guess there's that. And then moving on to BUU Piccolo, super attack effect is that he massively raises defense for 1 turn, immense damage. Very good, 100% defense, obviously, very good super attack effect. And his passive is that he recovers 20% HP, he gets attack and defense plus 140%, he gives all allies 3 key and 40% defense, and then he reduces damage received by 50% as the first or second attacker in the turn. He gets defense plus 60%, then all allies 40% attack, and chance of performing a critical hit plus 8% as the third attacker in a turn, and then he recovers 10% HP at the end of a turn for 6 turns from start of battle, or from start of turn from this guy's first appearance. So definitely very good between that and that. So obviously he's going to be healing a lot, and then I'm pretty sure he heals with some of his links as well. I mean, I would assume he would, right? Yeah, Metamorphosis. So between all the healing going on, you know, the damage reduction, the support, definitely very good. His unique link is Demonic Ways. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. We already went over them all. So overall, very good unit. I would say you definitely should grind up his EZA, especially because a lot of these teams really need this guy's help, right? Power absorption, artificial life forms, you know, sworn enemies, all those categories definitely could use a really good EZA. And if you got this Buhan out, I definitely think he is that, a really good EZA. So that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this guy down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.